are, the Betsy Ross Bridge. Well, the foot of the Betsy Ross Bridge. And this is a dumping spot that I didn't know exists right off the Delaware River, quarter of a mile from the trash dump. People, this looks like somebody unloaded an apartment. There's VHS tapes. Ooh, Steve Keeley might want to come here. They got a camera stand. And yeah, this is a business over here in Bridesburg. Look at that, they got a DVD player. Steve Keeley, he might want that too. If you don't know, if you're not from the area, Steve Keeley is a local reporter who, on the first day of the trash strike, was going through the trash pile, showing people the trash. So now I dubbed him a trash picker. A junkyard. This is like a junkyard by the Betsy Ross Bridge. They sometimes, you ever see a action movie in 1980, all the ending scenes would end in a junkyard where they would have a compactor crushing trash. Well, this is one of those places. Looks like they went out of business, and now it's a dumping ground, which you could pretty much say the majority of the city is now a dumping ground. And this trash pile was set on fire, and now you can see people are just throwing trash on the trash piles that were set on fire. Today is July 8th. It is the 8th day of the trash strike. You got the striking workers back here on the other side of the barricade. You got the news media is here. There are reports that the mayor and the union will have a discussion today. They didn't do that yesterday. This is Tioga Street. This is the street I've been going down every day of the strike, just to show you the illegal dumping that's happening just on one particular block. When the strike started, there was absolutely no trash on this block. This is new. I was just down here less than 24 hours ago. All this dirt is new. The city did have a press conference last night. There's a guy, what's his name? Carlton, I think Carlton. We're just going to call him Carlton. And oh, this trash. None of this was here 7 days ago. There you go. Hello, friend. Sitting next to the garbage, I see, huh? So the city put out a statement yesterday by Carlton, and the statement was, hey, don't put your trash outside of the dumpsters.
So here's what we're asking the public to do. Please utilize the dumpsters that you see when they're open. Do not place trash outside of these dumpsters. It causes a condition and slows us down in the collection process.
The city also wants us to use the dumpsters only on our designated trash days. So for me, that would be Friday morning. That's when I go to the dumpster. This pile here, this just keeps growing and it first started off with like that white tank. That's all that was here like the first day of the strike. Now it's just getting bigger and bigger. And you got more added to it. Illegal tire dumping is such an issue in Port Richmond and Bridesburg, especially along the river, back in the illegal dumping spots. I am at the intersection of Richmond and Indiana. They have a Clip trash truck. Clip is a Philadelphia city agency that goes around cleaning up the city. They're not exactly trash men, but they do clean up after events. They do paint over graffiti, and now it looks like they're collecting the garbage while the trash workers are on strike. Port Richmond section, checking out the area underneath I-95. This is at Richmond and Cambria, in between Richmond and Ann and Richmond and Cambria. This is 2 blocks from that dump. Now, that dump, or that dumpster, or that trash truck, that was overflowing the first few days of this strike. So maybe people went there and they figured, oh, we can't put the trash there, so we'll put it here. By the end of this video, I am so angry and disgusted with the city. It just, you could, if you were a regular viewer, you could definitely tell how this trash strike is really, it's getting to me. One of the jobs of the people who work for CLIP, and CLIP is a city program that they just clean up urban blight. What they do is they sweep up Kensington Avenue, and the last few days, since the strike started, Kensington Avenue has been covered but nothing but litter, which is nothing new, but CLIP does such a good job. People think Kensington Ave is actually clean, when it's not. We just have people working on it non-stop. Look at all this dumping. Underneath the I-95, nobody's policing this. The city said that they're going to be possibly working with the Philadelphia Parking Authority, and if they catch you dumping, they might put a boot on your car because you're going to owe $5,000.
And we're also working with the parking authority that if you use a vehicle in the act of dumping and we get your information, we can also refer them to the parking authority to put on their boot and tow list and confiscate your vehicle per the new legislation that was recently passed.
I hate that the parking authority is somehow going to make money off this trash strike. It's just disgusting. How about if you're a city official, how about you negotiate with the union every day? Just sit there and talk. The city did make a new offer to the workers. It was the first offer they offered them. Doing 2.75% raise for the workers. The mayor, she got a 3% raise the other day. This is the dumpsters behind Port Richmond Village. So now the city, you know, they don't have enough dumpsters to take care of the citizens. So now these local businesses, they have to pay for dumpster removal for trash they didn't even make. City officials, they couldn't talk yesterday. The union guys did offer their proposal, and this is the whole thing in negotiating. They started off, they wanted an 8% pay raise. Now they want a 5% pay raise. The city hasn't come up one time with their 2.75% even. Now I consider this area of Tulip and Letterly, I say it's Fishtown. I think geographically, if you have a real map, sort of Port Richmond. Port Fishington is what I call it, where the neighborhoods of Port Richmond, Kensington, and Fishtown kind of collide. And I'm going around the neighborhood, and I'm not really seeing any trash piles on the corner. There was some illegal dumping underneath I-95, but where the people live, oh, I see a pile over here at Sargent and Tulip, but not many piles, and it doesn't smell bad. Yesterday when I was driving around, oh, this is bad. And the people who live in this neighborhood, they have the same thing as the row homes in North Philly. They have small backyards. Well, the majority of this is a giant backyard for Philadelphia. Those houses right there, they were built within the last 5 years, maybe a little bit later, but these houses are called the Kensington Courts. They are nice apartments, condos, houses, whatever you call them, townhomes. They go for about $300,000. If you go 4 blocks in that direction, you'll be on Kensington Ave, which is the largest open-air drug market in the United States. Right here you got the pile of trash in these new houses, brand new homes. Maybe they don't know that there's a dumpster right around the corner. Again, people could be leaving out trash as a form of protest. They want to stand united with the trash workers. I just find it silly that you would want to have your own trash sitting out front of your house. For weeks when there's a dumpster right here. Now the city, what they want you to do, they don't want you to when the dumpsters are full, because they only have 2 dumpsters here. So if you come here and you drive with your bags of trash to this dumpster, and your car smells like shit, and you got fruit flies flying around, when you come here and you see the dumpster is overflowing, make sure to not leave the trash on the ground, because the city wants you to keep it clean. They could, call me crazy, they could provide more dumpsters, but I guess they like saving money, and that's why they're not paying their workers. Well, they're paying the clip workers to clean up this mess. But our sanitation workers, this is a horrible idea. Here yesterday, and the clip workers were cleaning, and it's worse than it was 24 hours ago after it was cleaned. It's just going to keep happening. We need more dumpsters. I'm sick of looking at Parker's piles. I just heard 1 block from where the dumpster is. Right there, look at this. And the dumpster piles are getting cleaned up every day. It's these piles that have been sitting on the corners of Kensington. Some of them have been sitting there for a week. They're going to be a problem. Here we are. This is Cambria and Frankfurt. And then you go down 1 more block, you got trash at Frankfurt in Monmouth. Oh, it smells disgusting. I'm in between 2 trash piles, so I shouldn't be shocked. Oh man, that pile's huge. And then in front of the row homes, you got some trash, but not much. But everything is right here on the corner on Monmouth Street. That's what we're going to do. Oh, it's horrible. Coming up to Orleans Street, Orleans and Jasper. Now, this is a section of the city. It's known as the Kensington Corridor. Last year, back in April, the mayor pronounced this area clean after they pretty much told all the people who were addicted to drugs that you can't set up a tent. You gotta be a wandering nomad. That's okay, but you can't have a tent. And now, a year after the cleanup, you got this pile of trash. The area around McPherson Square in Kensington, right there, back behind those trees, is a playground. People are it's the playground dumping that gets me the maddest. I'm starting to feel like, what's that movie? Falling Down. I'm just starting to feel like Michael Douglas. The hamburger doesn't look like the hamburger on the picture, and I'm just snapping. Day 8 of the strike, coming up to Rohrer Street. This is the street my mother grew up on. I'm going to say that every time I pass this, so you realize how big this pile has gotten over the trash strike. It's just getting bigger and bigger, right in front of a convenience store. And a school. The school's right here, too. The school might not be in session. Maybe summer school. But. And we're coming up to C in Allegheny. This pile is out of hand every time I come here. Even when we had people cleaning up the trash piles, it's still disgusting. There's a big pile of trash when the dumpsters are right here. Oh wow, they taped off the street. They had to close the street. So now they have 2 dumpsters on the worst dump site. Oh, they got 3. They have one back there on, I think that's Rose Hill Street. They now have the street blocked off where the dumpsters used to be. To give you an idea how far the trash piles went, yesterday I filmed a guy working out of this, whatever this place is, getting a delivery. and he was running over glass from the trash pile because the trash pile was here. The dumpsters were on the pavement there, and now it looks like Waste Management is cleaning up this trash pile now. Who's paying these people? How much are we paying Waste Management? The people are still adding to the pile. People are still coming here and dumping the trash. Yeah, I don't know where these press conferences are happening with the mayor and the union. If somebody gets a heads up on where these things are happening, if you could let me know. I will try to go to the press conferences. I will ask questions, because the one question I want to know is, how much are we paying these subcontractors to clean this shit up? Because we don't have clip workers cleaning this. Well, there might be some clip workers, but the people I see cleaning it work for Waste Management. And this pile is just going to keep growing. Every day the pallet pile gets bigger and big. Yesterday it was just one pile about the size of the biggest pile. Now we have chaos and anarchy, cuz. And they have a little trash pile here to prevent people going down the street. There's so much trash that the city can use trash to prevent people from coming down the street to dump the trash. Or they could just dump it here, because this pile yesterday was nowhere near that size. I'm here at 4th and Lehigh. You got a lot of open space here on Lehigh Avenue, but there are so many houses, and there are not many dumpsters in this area. There's a lot of illegal dumping happening, but pretty much from C and Allegheny on to Broad Street, there's no real dumpster for this neighborhood. Here's a map. This is at 5th and Lehigh, and you got the palm trees right here on 5th Street. And the illegal dumping next to the trash can. I think a lot of the free libraries are closed, or they all may be closed because of this strike. And one of the things we use the libraries for in Philadelphia, they're called cooling centers. It's where people who don't have air conditioning on hot days, they can go in there and cool off. Also, the majority of the pools are closed, or they're only open for limited hours. There's a big pile right next to a corner store on Lehigh Ave. The city says if you see any piles, they want you to call 311. Report the piles, the Parker piles, to City Hall. I'm on the other side of Broad Street. And when you cross over, once you get on the other side, the smell of garbage just hits you. This is where I was yesterday in North Philly. I'm kind of curious to see what's going on at the 2 dumpsters that they cleaned up. Know what's great about these trash piles? They kind of act as landmarks for me, so I know, like, okay, I'm getting close. Coming up to 22nd and Glenwood. Now, I was here yesterday, and the city had clipped the people cleaning up all the mess everywhere. They were here. And it looks like it's pretty manageable. The dumpsters are kind of empty. People, ooh, the stink. Smell-o-vision. Thank God it doesn't exist. And here's another pile. There's some construction trash. Oh, Steve Keeley might want that. That's some art. It's weird. The dumpsters are, I guess it's early in the morning. It's about 10:30 in the morning, so I guess the dumpsters were just switched out. It actually isn't bad right there, but if you got, dude, this is the part that made me lose my mind yesterday. Look, I'm just gonna, no cuts, no edits. The piles of trash. Near the dumpsters. Here we are, 23rd and Diamond. Dawn Staley Lane. How about that? Sixers, or not the Sixers, Philadelphia just got a WNBA team for 2030. Dawn Staley could be the coach if the city isn't flooded with trash by 2030. Overflowing dumpsters, probably for these apartments here. There's a closed pool, the MLK pool, but no water in it. Now in the Fairmount section of Philadelphia, kind of a gentrified area. You have a lot of businesses down in this section of Fairmount Ave. Yeah, I went to high school down the street here. And when I went to high school, it was in the 90s. It was a pretty tough area. Got mugged a few times. The trash isn't too bad in this neighborhood. I'm not sure if I'm close to a dumping spot. There are a lot of apartments, but I feel like you have to be responsible for your trash in this area. Oh, right here. Streets of Philadelphia. Bruce Springsteen filmed the music video right there. Kind of ironic. Well, not ironic, because I'm riding the streets of Philadelphia where they filmed the streets of Philadelphia. This is how the majority of the properties, even in the Rittenhouse Square neighborhood, they don't have trash cans. Trash cans take up too much space. So when they do recycling, they just have brown bags and they just throw all the shit in there. Now we're going to have a pretty crappy weather all this week, wind, rain. So that brown bag ain't going to last. So these idiots have their trash in front of it. It's, what do they care? What do they care? No one cares. I am now in the Chinatown area. Uh-oh, roads are closed. And you got, oh, this could be the apartments trash, because the businesses are on the first floor, then you got apartments on the second floor. There's a lot of restaurants in Chinatown. They got some souvenir shops, and man, you can't even drive your car in Chinatown today. Everything, all the streets are closed. I'm gonna put up the map again. Again, there's no dumpster really in this area for anyone to use. You do have some elderly people in every neighborhood who don't have cars. What are they supposed to do? I mean, you could ask a neighbor to help, but people are just leaving it outside. And it looks like everybody who has an apartment building just putting their trash out front. I'm kind of curious to see what's happening in Rittenhouse Square. We're going to go check that out in a little bit. First, we're going to stop at City Hall. By the way, I am riding my e-bike. It was purchased by the Mayfair Business Improvement District. If you can, please give them a follow on Facebook. Link in the description of the video. This is Philadelphia City Hall. Oh, look, they got the gates closed. They have the gates closed at City Hall. And that's not by accident. They have them closed so people can't put trash in the courtyard. Right here, this is where the municipal workers work. You got trash dumped here. Right here at the municipal workers building, you got the striking workers sitting in the shade. And see if there's any trash piles around City Hall. All right. Here's the entrance to City Hall. Right here, you got the gate closed. The gate is shut. You do have some striking workers right here. This is where the city employees go in. Sometimes there's a city council person. I forget his name. He's always out here smoking. I was hoping I could have a chat with him. There we go. We got the striking workers sitting here. You got striking workers sitting down in front of the office of Larry Krasner, the district attorney. He's a Democrat who's running unopposed because the Republican Party doesn't even try in the city. I see a lot of comments. You get what you vote for. You don't understand. Nobody else is running. I would throw my hat in the mayor thing, but yeah, there's a movie about me losing my mind on Netflix, so I don't think that's going to be a good look. And they do have a dumpster here, which is, you know, they probably should have one here for people, kind of as a form of protest, to put your trash here, and they do have it, but it's locked up between a fence. City Hall is pretty spotless, but then again, they do have like people working here 24/7, keeping it clean. Yeah, this is the area around 17th and Chestnut. You got a lot of businesses, hotels. You also have people who come up and down the strip and they clean every day. You got some garbage out here on 18th and Chestnut. And I bet you that's what I'm going to find when I go down here on the other side of like 20th Street. You're going to find a bunch of apartment trash. I think this is Sampson, 20th and Sampson. And you got apartment trash. Again, they don't have recycling buckets. There's no space for them in the apartments. Oh no. Oh, the window broke at the Comedy Sports. Uh-oh. I got you. You're doing good. Hey. Whole lot of garbage. Out here, this is where the rich people live. I always hated the way they do trash in Center City. It always drove me mad. Because if you ever get a real windy day, the trash just goes everywhere. So this is Rittenhouse Square. It's one of the hoity-toity sections of the city, this park. It's one of my favorite places in the city. I just realized, like, summertime in Philadelphia, especially in this area, Rittenhouse Square, where City Hall is, Independence Hall, it's like my favorite time of the year. I love just walking around. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything too funky's going on here. They do have trash cans, but they also, this park has people that clean it. You got little signs of illegal dumping in this area. But this is where the tourists go. So the city will make sure any piles here will get cleaned up super fast. This is like the 4th or 5th construction site. I guess they're putting in new, whatever they are out there. They're putting in new ones all around the neighborhood. So we have cops sitting, protecting these workers, right? Which is good. These guys, you know, they don't want to get hit. But we can't have a cop sit and stare at a dumpster all day and write tickets. This is Love Park. Down there is the Philadelphia Museum of Art. There's really nothing down in the museum district, so we'll probably never go down there during this strike. No trash. Oh, we got striking workers over here. I'll tell you what, the striking workers in Center City are actually blowing whistles, making noise. Whenever I go past the strike spot in Port Richmond, they're just sitting there staring at their phones. There we got the workers here. I don't have a car horn, but I am with And there's more strikers on this side of the municipal building. Uh-oh. This is a court order on the city door telling people they can't lock the doors. And right here, this is the old Macy's building. This is, I get obsessed with news stories. Back in January, that department store closed down. It's been open since the 1800s. And I feel like we lost a little bit of our history when that department store closed. It might not open to the public again for 2 years. That's what they're saying. On the other side of Broad Street, this is, they call this the Gayborhood. And you got a lot of apartments in here, and you're going to find the same thing that you saw in the other areas of Center City, the apartment trash. Just going to leave it out front. Leave it out front. Oh man, look at all the furniture. Again, this trash strike started at the beginning of the month. So some of these apartment evictions or move outs. This is at Spruce Street. People, there are dumpsters kind of near South Street, close to Penn's Landing. There is like a large square space where there are no dumpsters whatsoever. Again, you'll have sections of North Philadelphia where there are like 4 dumpsters within a mile radius. This is Clinton Street. It's one of my favorite streets in this city. One of these old quiet streets right next to Pennsylvania Hospital, which was the first hospital in the United States. Ben Franklin laid the cornerstone. If you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe, just so you know. Like I said, I get obsessed with news stories, so I'm probably going to be talking trash for a little bit. Occasionally I'll dip into a Phillies game. Phillies are away for a while because of the All-Star break. Right there, the Pennsylvania Hospital. This is South Street. Back in the 60s, this is where the hippies met. It was like a pretty popular tourist destination in the 80s and 90s, in the early 2000s. Used to have a lot of mom and pop boutique shops. Now you have T-Mobiles and other things. There was a smell of garbage. It's pretty bad right here in the corners. Right here. Yeah, then it just stopped. It stopped being a hip and trendy spot, and businesses. The rent got really crazy, and a lot of businesses moved out of here. Yeah, somewhere around here. This is where Questlove and the Roots, they became friends in this bar, and they performed on this corner. It's called the Avenue of the Roots. Down here is Jim's Steaks. This is a popular cheesesteak place. Burned down a few years ago. They recently reopened. It's a pretty, it's a good average cheesesteak. Jackie Schimmel. Is that Bob Schimmel's daughter? The comedian? Let me know in the comments. Oh, that's the TLA Theater. That's the theater where Andrew Dice Clay filmed his first stand-up comedy special, his full stand-up comedy special. And right here at 3rd at South Street, on this building right here, it's the birthplace of Larry Fine of the Three Stooges. He lived right here. This is in South Philadelphia, Washington Ave. Taking away a dumpster. Don't see a new dumpster coming. This dumpster's full. Please, guys, when you come here, don't throw your trash on the side of the dumpster. Day 8 of the strike. They definitely know how many dumpsters should be here. The city needs to get more dumpsters. It's ridiculous. Or, how about this? How about you just negotiate with the union till you figure it out? Here in South Philadelphia, back here there's a Walmart and a bunch of different shops. Now this space back here is usually a dumping space. They take care of a lot of feral cats back here. A lot of the feral cats are back here in this area. We also have a homeless community. There you are. It's one of the people taking care of the feral cats. We also have some dumpsters unattended to, overflowing. This is the beginning or the end of a bike trail called the Delaware River Trail. But it starts up here, and I'm gonna take this bike trail home. And then these gigantic piles of garbage, not just like, it has to be like 5 bags or more. It's going to show you to you. Back on these trails, right here is where the trail begins. You have some piers that were renovated and remodeled by the city, like this pier, Pier 68. It's a fishing pier. Go picnicking. That's a tough word for me. But also around this area, you have a lot of abandoned piers. Back there's one of the overgrown piers. And you have homeless communities living in those piers. And every few months, the clip workers and other city organizations go back there and clean up the tent communities. Oh, that 2 piers down, there's a whole bunch of people living. Now, homeless people exist. They have to go somewhere. It's just sometimes when the city says, oh, we cleaned up Kensington, there's no more, people think, oh, there's no more homeless people in the city, and the city's covered not only in trash, but homeless people. And some of them have mental health issues, some of them have drug issues. Man, this trail's horrible right here. Yeah, you got a big tent set up over there. Look at all the shopping carts. There's a lot of people back here. Wow. Man, that's a super nice tent. Yeah, surprisingly, well, maybe not surprisingly, went from South Philly all the way to Fishtown. You don't have a lot of people living. I didn't see any piles of trash on that bike trail. I guess one way to keep Philadelphia clean is to keep people out of Philadelphia, because the spots where nobody lives, there aren't many trash dumping corners where people or playgrounds where they're, because I'm in a park right now, and it's pretty good here. This is Penn Treaty Park. This is right here. This is one of the first monuments in the United States for American history. This little marker right here. This tells you where the Native Americans and William Penn made a treaty, and they agreed to live together in harmony. A lot of the other colonies, when they were first starting off, they kind of separated the European settlers from the Native Americans. But William Penn, the founder of Pennsylvania, he wanted everyone to live in harmony. So what he did is he opened 60 dumpsters locations all across the city, and everybody could use them. And that's how everyone lived in harmony. You know, it's crazy if you think about it. 60 dumpsters for 60 dumpster locations for 1.5 million people. And I would say most of the dumpster locations have 2 dumpsters. So it's let's say 100, let's give the city 150 dumpsters for 1.5 million people. Now, people do have apartments and people do use dumpster services. So let's say 1.3 million people, 150 dumpsters. Someone do the math. It's not mathing. And they only want you to dump it on your trash day. Don't come, because they only have 2 dumpsters. So if everybody comes on one day, what the fuck would they, it's going to be overflowing. Look at that dragonfly. Now back here on these back streets near I-95 in the Fishtown section, little bit of dumping. You got an abandoned boat. You see these from time to time along the river. And you got some garbage. But that's the first sign of garbage I've seen since South Philly. And we're getting ready to go back under the bridge to Bridesburg, where the dumping area is. Right here, this is a pretty popular dumping area. Just going to get more and more popular. Yesterday, I showed you this pile over here where I caught a guy dumping here the other day, and then they set that pile of trash on fire. Oh, it smells so bad here. Oh, it's the worst. people keep adding trash to the pile of trash that's already here. Yeah, this is... I gotta hold my breath. That's a really bad... Ooh. That's a really bad smelling pile of trash. And there they are, the striking workers. There they go. See, the ones sitting out here, they're not doing anything, just sitting on their phones. But the ones in Center City, they're getting people to honk their horn and... Oh, the good news is, I'm not as angry as I was yesterday. I was angry at the beginning of this video. But at the end, I'm like, you know what? I kind of, instead of ending in a neighborhood that was covered in trash, I ended it in South Philly and Fishtown where there was no trash, kind of leaving me in a good mood. I don't feel like Michael Douglas from Falling Down. I feel like Michael Douglas, not from, I don't know where the hell, I don't know any Michael Douglas movies. I feel like Kirk Douglas from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Or I feel like, what was that movie? You guys ever see that movie with Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen? Where they were trash workers, men at work. Maybe I'll give that a watch tonight. Appreciate the trash men more. It's a pretty good movie. I appreciate you joining me for this update. Showing you much more than what the news will, because the news, well, they may have helicopters and vans. They don't have a middle-aged man on a bike driving every street just looking around. So if you can, please hit the like button. I don't know how many miles I rode today, and usually I am pedaling with the e-bike. I'm not just riding it as a motorcycle. So I'm working hard for this money. So please hit like, please hit subscribe. If you want to help support the channel, please buy a t-shirt. You can also sign up for my Patreon, and I do cameos. Book me for Cameo. I have over 200 5-star reviews on Cameo. I put my heart and soul into my cameos, unlike the city did with the negotiation of the trash truck workers contract. I'm too tired. It's a lot going on.